beautiful, ambitious, and wants to bless you with all her talent. Her name is Jaya. She's doing big things at Kijiji Records. Welcome her this morning to the show. Hi, Jaya.
Hi, cool.
How are you?
Fine, thanks.
It's very good to have you here.
I'm glad to be here.
Excellent. Now, you have a very interesting name, which is exactly where I want to start. It sounds nice. Tell us about that name. How, first of all, did you get it?
The name Jaya actually comes from both my real names. My real names are Patricia Awinja.
Okay.
Yes, those are the names I was given.
Right.
Yes, so having been in studio for I think about 3-4 months, I decided, okay, I want to do music, so I need a stage name.
Right.
So I think I went down and sat down for 2 months trying to come up with a name.
Okay.
But nothing seemed to sound right.
Right.
So when I was going to the studio for the last to pick up my song, the producer asked me, do you have a stage name? And I told him, don't even ask me about stage name.
Too much pressure.
Yeah, pressure. And I've been sitting down trying to think of a name.
Right.
Yeah, and so he said, okay, come, sit down. Let's do this. Let's work something out. So he said, how about we take the Jaya from Awinja
Right.
and the IA from Patricia and put them together. So I said, okay.
And it worked.
And it worked. So at first it looked like something Japan Airline International, something.
I like that.
So we changed the I to a Y,
Right.
and it came about to be Jaya.
Excellent.
So sometime later I checked up, I was just on the net and randomly just checked out the name, and it actually means female for victorious.
Really?
Yes.
Look how that has happened. I don't believe in coincidences. It's a beautiful story. Now, you have loved music all your life.
Yes.
You're a musician now, a songwriter, a lyricist, and a recording artist.
Yes.
Tell us about your background in music.
I sang a lot in school. I was a choir captain
Okay.
in our school. That's Kianda. I
Right.
was in Kianda. And I liked singing then. I liked leading the choir when we do musicals, and
Right.
yes, because Kianda is known for the musicals.
Okay.
So we'd put on musicals, and I'd really like just being there and getting solos and doing all that. So that was as far as it went
Right.
with music in school. Yeah.
Okay. You later wrote a very interesting song that got your mom really interested. Samaha,
Yes.
a song about forgiveness. Tell us about this song and what this song did in terms of propelling you into a music career.
Okay. The song actually, like you said, it was for my mom,
Yeah.
and it means forgiveness. There's a time in my life, about 8 years ago, I was diagnosed with clinical depression.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
So I was in and out of hospital for 7 years,
Wow.
and I was on medication when I was at home, and it was crazy because here I have to balance with school, and
Right.
yeah,
Can be
so
easy, of course.
it wasn't easy. Yeah, so it was really bad because here I am. I was in and out of hospital for about 7 years,
Right.
and it was diagnosed when I started complaining of back pains.
Okay.
And finally, the doctor was like, "This is not actually a physical problem;
Right.
it's psychological."
Okay.
So, in those 7 years, the last 3 of those years, I now chose to just give up, and I said, "You know what? God can't have created me and then given me this thing to suffer with at the same time. I mean,
Right.
give me poverty, give me
Exactly.
yeah, I mean, but don't give me this thing that I don't know what it is."
How I
and
can control it.
exactly.
Right.
I didn't know how to deal with it. And in those 3 years, I told God, now you do your thing, me, I'll do mine.
Okay.
If you can't take away my life, let me do it. So I was suicidal. I mean, it was
Wow.
crazy.
At a young age as well.
Yes.
You're 19 years old.
Yes, I'm
Right.
19. So I decided, okay, if it wasn't suicide, I was gonna try and look for my own happiness.
Right.
So I hooked up with the wrong kind of friends. We were doing all the wrong sorts of things, and I mean, in 3 years.
Right.
And so, of course, at this time, my mom was really, because it really put a lot of pressure on her. She's the one who's been bringing me up for the
Right.
longest time now.
And it
So,
cannot be tough dealing with a teenager with
Yes.
clinical depression,
Yeah.
obviously, right?
yeah. So now here I was doing all these wrong things, and she's trying to bring me back in line and just tell me, you know what, just try and be who you are. Stop trying to change.
Right.
Yeah, stop trying to look for happiness in all these things of the world. And I would tell her, you don't know what I'm going through. So in fact, just leave me alone. Let me do what I know how to do. And all of a sudden, I started talking back to my mom, and I was this totally different child.
Right.
This was not the person she had brought up to be, because I was the one who'd bring home the good grades.
Right.
And all of a sudden, I had just changed.
Wow.
Yeah. So after those 3 years, actually sometime last year, I had a suicidal attempt.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, early last year, and it got me in hospital for a week.
Okay.
And it was after this that I realized there must be a reason why, after so many suicide attempts,
Right.
I'm still alive.
Right.
There should be a reason. Though I don't understand it now,
Right.
there should be a reason.
What happened after? After last year, you are at rock bottom. You can't even fathom a future. Obviously, you've been through a lot. What happened after that?
After that now is when I just looked at it all and I said, I really need to tell my mom I'm sorry first.
Right.
Because for her, there were days she couldn't talk. She would go for months because she couldn't understand.
Right.
So she was the one who was suffering more than anyone.
Did you understand what you were going through?
I didn't.
Did you know why you
No.
were going through what you were going through?
No, I
Okay.
didn't understand.
Uh-huh.
So, of all the people around me, she was the one who needed to know that really I'm sorry, because first of all, I'm sorry that I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Second of all, I'm sorry because I'm your child and I've gone against what you want for my life.
Of course.
And so I sat down and I said, okay, I've liked music for a while. And the other number of times I've told her I was sorry for sneaking out of the house, for doing all those things.
Right.
I've always gone back to doing them. So if I'm going to do it, I was going to write her a song.
Okay.
So I sat down, I just started playing the guitar, I think for 3 weeks that time.
Right.
And I wrote her a song, about 20 minutes. I didn't know I could write songs.
Right.
I would write poems and those things, but it was never that serious.
You wrote Msamaha.
Yes.
And
So
she loved it.
I wrote Msamaha for my mom, and I remember that day I was in tears, and she just looked at me.
Did you sing it for her?
Yes, I sang it.
Really?
Yes, I sang it. I was singing, I was playing the guitar, and I was crying at the same time. But I said, you know what? This is it. If this is not, this is not gonna change it. Yeah.
How are you doing now?
I have been off medication for a year.
Really?
I have not seen a hospital. Thank
Yay!
you.
That is so cool. Okay.
Thank you. Yes, I have not. Yeah, it's been a total transformation.
Okay.
Medicine I was taking for 7 years, different types of medication. Hospital. I'm sure even now if my doctor sees me, he would remember who I am.
That's wonderful.
Yes.
That is so wonderful.
Yeah.
And in the last year, you're doing great things.
I am doing great things.
Musically?
In fact, yes. It's been exactly a year, because the time I was in hospital was in February last year.
Okay.
So I got out of hospital and now began just saying, you know what, there's a reason I'm alive. There's a reason I'm still alive. So then someone had my song and told me this song needs to be recorded.
Right.
I was like, no, this song is for my mom. So let's just keep it between the two of us. Whoever else needs to hear it, it will happen at some point, but I'm not going to record this song.
Okay.
And I was stubborn for a while until the producer actually called me and told me, I've heard your song through someone who had it somewhere, and I want you to come in and record this song.
Okay.
So I recorded it, and from there, things just took a totally different turn. I didn't know that I would be here today. I didn't know I would be at this point where I'm at Kijiji Records. I'm at...
You're going through a mentorship program.
I'm going through a mentorship program, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tell us about your future plans. Music-wise, you're doing exactly what you've wanted to do for a long time.
Yes.
You're doing much better. You're happier. Tell us about your future plans when it comes to music. What kind of recording artist do you see yourself? You're gospel. You're a gospel
Yes,
artist.
I'm a
We have to
gospel
make that clear. Tell us about your future career. What are you looking for?
With my music, I want to go, like you said, at one point I want to go international. And not just because of the perks and the business side of it, the money side of it. Like you said, I'm a gospel artist.
Right.
And my music, actually, my song, Samaha, is what brought me to actually give my life to Christ.
Okay.
Because the song was released, and it was around that time when all these things were happening. Kijiji, I started going to Mavuno Church, and that's where I found, I was delivered. That's where I got healing and all that.
Okay.
So my music is first ministry.
Right.
My music is first serving the one who gave me peace.
Right.
Yeah. So
that's beautiful.
Yeah.
That's really, really something.
So that's
your style, your performance energy, the kind of message that you want people to hear through your music. Tell us briefly about that.
My style is actually, I'm trying to bring out a lot of my personality. I don't want to be in studio singing songs for people.
Right.
And not having any identity. So it's really about who I am, who I've become. Right now I'm this happy young girl skipping on the street and having a good time with my friends. And so I want my music to reflect a lot of that.
Okay.
I don't want to say, okay, I find it easy to sing this. So, for example, I find it easy to sing R&B, so that's what I'm going to do.
Right.
I'm willing to go wherever my personality is going to take me, just to bring that out, because who I am now is because of what God has done for me.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you have a great personality, so your music will definitely work out.
Yes, thank you.
I'm so happy you're here this morning. I wish you great success. You're definitely bound for it.
Thank you.
Thank you for your wonderful story and for sharing that with us this morning.
Okay.
Her name is Jaya. She has a great, great voice with her R&B rhythm. Her song Msamaha and Rauka, look out for them. Look out for her album coming out of Kijiji Records. She's doing big things. Here is a look at her video.